All right, that takes us to the last concept within this particular module, which is the last but not the least, is to raise our own exceptions. So not only can we handle exceptions that have been pre-built for us, but we can actually raise our own exceptions. So the way we're gonna do that is to use a function. Let's say we have a function that's gonna check the age of a user. All right, and we're gonna say user age. So we have the age of a user, and we say if user age is less than or equals to, or let's say less than 21, let's just go for less than 21, we want to do something. We want to raise an exception and say no, this person is underage and we should not serve them alcohol at the bar. All right, so we say underage youngster, something like that. All right, and we want to print the user age as an example. All right, so this is raising an exception, and we've used the term raise an exception. I'm gonna have to convert this to a string. All right, just put a space in there for readability. So now if you go now and actually write a code that takes the age, and that age is gonna be, please enter your age. All right, if we run this code and the user gives us an age, and we take that age and we say age equals to int age. All right, and then now we can go ahead and simply check age, right? That is something that we can simply do, no problem there. So say 30, that's fine, but what if the age is 17 or 14? Problem. All right, well, now it's raising this exception of underage youngster. So you see it complains and says underage youngster, and that exception has been raised. But if you raise an exception, we've already seen how to handle exceptions, so we can always handle whatever exception that we raise. All right, and how do we handle that? We're gonna throw this in a try block. All right, so we're gonna throw this into a try block so we can handle that. So try this if there is an exception. So if there is an exception from there, and what exception do we expect? Underage youngster exception. All right, because this is what we're actually raising. That's the exception that we're actually raising. Underage youngster. Underage youngster. All right, so if we see that exception underage youngster, we want to do something about it. We want to do something about it. All right, we want to print a message like, all right, check the ID. All right, in verify ID, this person is underage. All right, we can certainly do something like that. That's perfectly legitimate, right? Underage people should not be drinking alcohol, right? Otherwise they are legitimate age, no problem. And then we can go ahead and print all good, have fun, stay safe, something like that, right? We can just go ahead and do that. All right, so now if I run this, all right, we saw if my age is 30, there is no problem. It's gonna tell me age 30, everything is fine. Then it goes in and tells me all good, have fun, stay safe. What happens now if my age is 20? I'm underage, and what happens? All right, it actually complains except underage youngster. So it raises that exception, but there is a problem because I haven't quite caught that exception. I believe that the reason is it might not be liking the name of my exception. Just bear with me to verify. So underage, let's try this one more time. So see, I might be missing something here. 12. All right, catching classes do not inherit. So the exception was raised for sure, but I'm having an issue catching that handling that exception. Let me keep this very simple here, just so that it's not too complicated. All right, so we're gonna raise on the edge, just so the spaces don't. Sometimes spaces could be an issue. So this is the exception that we're raising. All right, and we see that we're raising that in here. Okay, but what during handling of the above exception, another exception occurred? All right, what other exception occurred? There you go. I think it's probably because of the space. Oh no, actually that's not correct. Let's try one more time. Run this. 20. All right, let me figure out what this issue is here. Just hang on for a second. All right, so I just had to make a quick